Oh gosh, he's so dreamy, Arnold. You're so dreamy.
And now, Cheese Wits.
I don't mean to brag, but I
Yes, you
am
do.
so up to
You
date.
absolutely do.
I don't
Look at
brag.
right behind you. You've got your personality of the year. You're a braggart. Shut up.
Would you
don't
like to
wanna
see
brag.
it again?
We
It's
fi-
right here.
We got the cable TV down here now.
I don't have cable TV.
And we got the internet. We have this thing called America Online.
I do have the indoor plumbing, though.
Oh,
Super
good.
proud of that.
Good. You gonna go out to the cement pond later?
I am so current on pop culture that I am now watching Community because I just finished the original Gilmore Girls. And before that, I was watching Sons of Anarchy and Parks and Rec. Oh, none of these had I watched when they were actually like on normally.
The South really is backwards, isn't
And The
it?
Sopranos. And here's what I've discovered. The Sopranos and Sons of Anarchy are basically the same show, but one of them's on motorcycles and don't have the same accent.
Basically, one of them's A-O-O-A, and the other one's A, fuck you.
Every week they're killing somebody.
Every week.
Absolutely.
And,
There's
you can't be
eating
a rat
involved,
in
there's
either
eating,
one of
drinking,
them.
and
If
killing.
you're a rat in either one of them, they got to kill you. They have to.
Right.
They don't want to. They love you like a brother.
Right. They got to kill you.
Now, are either one of you on the TikTok?
I am on the TikTok.
Absolutely not. I am not.
Okay. Well, on the TikTok, there's a guy that uploads old TV commercials and one that holds up pieces of old TV shows, TV themes and shit. And the most racist commercial, which I remember seeing as a child, okay, so put this in the late 70s, early 80s. Okay.
Yeah.
Any guesses?
Ancient Chinese secret.
How do you get your wash like that, Mr. Lee? And that's exactly right. Oh, ancient Chinese secret.
That was a complete
And
guess. I have not seen that guy on TikTok. That was
What was ancient Chinese secret? What was the product?
it was
Calgon.
all temperature cheer or all or something.
No, it was all temperature Calgon. Okay.
Really?
And they take and the woman, his wife, whoever the hell his wife is in this commercial, goes in the back of the laundromat, Lee's laundromat, and says, ancient Chinese secret, huh? It's all temperature Calgon.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely. You can't make this shit up, man.
I don't
Can't
remember
make
all
this shit up.
Calgon, but I do remember.
I
the
thought
commercial.
Calgon was bubble bath.
Calgon is many things.
Yeah, because I was in the store. That's so. I was saying I was doing Calgon today with my wife when we were walking through Walmart, and we were walking somewhere, and I just did a Calgon, take me away.
Yes, that's the other Calgon.
Such a shithole of a place. It felt like I was in Walmart, but it was fucking just crowded and dumbasses everywhere and fucking people fighting over 90-cent fucking Twizzle sticks, and it's fucking unbelievable. It's like people drive in the parking lot like they're gonna run out of fucking plastic Tupperware. It's not even Tupperware, whatever their version of Rubbermaid food storage is. They're gonna run out of it quick. It's the last one for sandwiches. We gotta get there.
Oh, God, we got to go get some Tupper Sams.
That's it. That shit. It's like, what the fuck? They've got a tractor trailer out back with more of that shit than you can use in a year if you threw one away every fucking day.
That is absolutely true.
There's a fucking ship standing off the port of Portland that just came in from China, full of that shit. China. Full of that shit.
Every time.
Came in from China. It's got the virus all over it. China.
It's from China.
God.
And it's full of that shit. But, man, it's just people fighting over junk. Oh, I knew there was something I wanted to bring up while I was in the Walmart.
Yeah.
In front of me was a woman, and she was in one of those store I can't walk things.
A rascal?
Scooter Rascal, the store brand Scooter Rascal.
Yeah.
And she's doing her purchase, and she's got her ward with her, who her ward looks to be in his very early 20s, 20, 21, 22, 23, but lives at home with mom and whoever else. and she's buying a lot of food, and none of this has any judgment on anything, but she uses her EBT card, and she says to the woman, "Oh, it's only got $300, $330 on my EBT." I remember this stuff vividly. So the woman runs, she goes, "Okay, you have $51.04. And the woman gives her $51.04. And the woman, who's the customer, looks at the cashier and chuckles and says, because the son is running the EBT card, it's her card, and he can't remember the secret code, the 4-digit whatever, and he asks mom, and she whispers in his ear, and he gets the 4-digit code and punches it in, and mom looks at this cashier and says, "Oh, I'm trying to teach him how to use the EBT." And I wanted to lose it, you guys. And I
train him early.
I wanted to say, how the fuck come you're not trying to teach him how to fucking work? That might be a better fucking lesson than teaching him how to use the EBT.
Maybe she had to teach him how to use it so that he could shop for her and she could stay at home.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Who needs to teach anybody how to use that? It's a PIN number, for Christ's sake.
Right. It's a PIN. But it's the idea that don't let yourself get caught in that fucking loop. Do not get caught in it. It seems to be that she's teaching him how to, this is the way life is. And it shouldn't be. It should be, hey, this is a good way to help ourselves right now. But man, let me teach you about getting a job and getting the fuck out of this loop.
Jess, if you cross off the state welfare agencies as to people who may advertise for the program.
Oh, are they spending big advertising dollars right now?
Oh, I just passed a bus stop that says, "I'm a Wick baby." Seriously, with a guy that looked like Hervé fucking Villachez on it. Okay, so
I think just to put where I think WIC is probably the best government-funded program of all time.
Oh, it's funded very well.
I think it's a great program because it helps children. It teaches people about nutrition, how to shop correctly. There are good things in that program, and if all programs that the government funds were treated that way, with an education foundation behind them, with learning, with some rules, I think some of that stuff will work better. You shouldn't be trying to teach your kid how to use EBT. You should be trying to teach your kid how not to use EBT. EBT should be a fallback, not a generational rate. That's
when
what
I was young. They didn't have that. They didn't have the cards or any of that
food
shit.
Stamps.
Oh, they had food stamps, but around here, they would deliver the milk and cheese to the house for WIC.
We used to go.
Well,
have you ever had the government cheese?
Government cheese is the best.
Government cheese is the fucking
I love
best
government
cheese.
We got that stuff when I was a kid. That powdered milk. But
Powdered
government
milk is
cheese.
No, we never got that.
Government cheese is good. Powdered milk sucks. The canned chicken was delicious.
I don't remember if we got that.
It would be shredded canned chicken. It was like, I don't know, like a 3-pound can or something. 5-pound cans of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was a welfare baby, for lack of a better word. That's what we were called back then. Well, it was called welfare, and I don't think that's a horrible word because it was about welfare. It was about making sure people were well taken care of. It was welfare. So we got the flour, the cornmeal, the peanut butter, the cheese. The cheese was so good. God damn, the cheese was good.
The cheese was awesome, and Jess, that's when young Wally spit out his first joke because the chicken came and said, "Oh, do you want chicken in the can?" He says, No, I'll have it right here.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
But we used to take when I was living in Worcester, Massachusetts, we would take a wagon and go to the community center, and it might have been once every 3 weeks or something, and you'd get an allotment of stuff. And it was probably based upon how many children you had and that kind of thing. But you'd get this much peanut butter and this much this and this. And there were certain things. One of the big treats when I was a kid was powdered milk mixed with government powdered milk mixed with molasses. Because we couldn't afford to have chocolate milk. We'd have molasses milk.
Good God almighty.
That doesn't sound like anything I would want to try.
I know. But it was poverty food, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was. It was poverty. It was poverty stuff, and that's just the way it was.
These days, people are they're making their own side hustles, and you know what? I'm not mad about it. But look at this. You know how some people choose to give like gift cards or cash or whatever to the mailman or the garbage man, whatever.
Yeah. I got our mail person a gift card today.
Yeah. So I found this on my recycling bin after pickup the other day.
Did they ask for a tip?
It says, best wishes for the holidays and happiness throughout the coming year. The recycling man, his name, his address, and his Cash app.
Oh, well.
He doesn't
Shut the fuck
ask
up.
for it, but he gives the Cash app just in case you want to give it.
What a that's bullshit.
Isn't it's bold. It's bold.
That's unfucking real.
Look, people will just go after your money. I was at a casino the other day. Go figure. And I'm playing a slot machine, and the slot machine is paying off rather well. And this woman stands there next to me. She says, "Wow, you're doing great. I'm here for a blessing." I said, "What are you, from the church of taking my fucking money? Go away."
Wait a minute. She approached you and asked you for money because you were winning?
No. She approached me and asked for a blessing. They'll never ask for money, Jess.
She was from the Church of Saint Thievery.
Yes.
Here I am. I'm from the Church of Saint Thievery, and I would like you to hand over some of your fucking winnings.
There is a
from
church.
the Church of Saint Thievery, and she shows up at the Palace of Caesar.
Yeah,
for service.
You're only meeting a couple kinds of people like that in the church. Either the from the Church of Saint Thievery, or from the Church of Want a Blowjob.
Well, I was not going to take a blowjob from this lady, so I'm only guessing it was going to be thievery.
There is a church around the corner from me here, and I won't name what kind of church they are, but I will say that when their members have rung my doorbell, I have asked them politely to not come back, because my mother was raised in that church, and I know who they are and what kind of cult bullshit they do.
Do they go to paradise? Is there only a set number of people that get to go?
There are only a set number of people.
Yeah.
Oh, to the planet,
and who get to stay after the new world, the new order of things.
Do they have a place that sounds a lot like Sit Ubu Sit? Do they have one of those? Is that their thing?
I don't.
Their churches are usually on the edge of town.
Well, this one is this. I guess it's kind of the edge of town. But anyway, they have started handwriting letters.
Dude, I got one too.
And I don't know if they've gotten my information from like the voter rolls or from the fact that I own property, because both of those are public information. And both of those get me, random text messages. Would you like to sell your house? Even before I was trying to sell my house. But I've gotten 2 different letters in the last 2 months, handwritten letters with the address. It's a different last name every time, but it's the address of that church. And so I've started the first time I opened one, the first time I didn't realize what it was. The second one I got, actually the first one I taped shut and put return to sender. And then the second one I put return to sender so that their postage is wasted. Like, don't send me handwritten letters asking me to come to your church. I've told you I'm not interested. Go away.
Yeah, I don't think church should be treated like a Division I college looking for their next quarterback.
Right.
But that's how they have to bring them in, because people are staying home. They're not donating. They have to have people in their little thing. And I get these handwritten letters once every 3 or 4 weeks. And just like Jess said, the return address is the up on the corner. Okay. And it's always from the same people asking, now, do you really know God? And, I want to just send a letter back that says, Dear Jane Smith, fuck your mother, Christopher Roth. Okay. And see what happens. I don't think I'm going to burn in hell for it. Pretty sure I'm not.
No.
Pretty sure I'm not. I'm already in hell. I'm not burning. So it's not going to happen.
I don't dig the recruitment of souls.
No, I don't either.
I don't think it's a good thing.
No, it's not a soul recruitment. It's a dollar recruitment.
I have no problem with you worshiping who you want to worship in the way that you want to worship, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. But don't try to recruit me. I'm not interested. I'm not doing that.
Right. If I am interested,
I know where
I'm
to
gonna
find
be-
the church.
you know what? I'm going to be like Jack Tripper. I'm going to come knock on your door.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I'm coming, and I'm looking for Chrissy. I can tell you that.
I was always a Janet person. I couldn't stand Chrissy.
Oh, I liked the first Chrissy. I was okay with her.
Oh,
But then again,
God,
I
no.
think I was 11 when that came out, so boobs were new to me. Brains didn't matter.
I was a fat kid. Boobs were not new to me at that age. Okay, I had my own set. But I always liked looking at Janet. Janet was cute, and you know what? They fucked up when that show ended. Janet and Jack should have gotten married and run off and done their other show. Okay, fuck Terry, fuck Mr. Furley. It just Janet and Jack should have been together.
Yeah, I usually went for the non-blonde too. So of TV shows when I was young, I loved Nancy McKeon.
Oh yeah, me too.
I wanted to
She
be
was-
Nancy
she was-
McKeon.
She's a little
God.
rough, but yeah.
She rode that She had a motorcycle, and she was tough, and she was Joe and Drew. Yeah,
And Blair turned me off.
I
hated
did not
Blair.
like Blair. I did not like Blair. I liked Nancy. I liked Joe, and I also liked from I don't remember the show, but Christy McNichol. What was that show? Family or
Family, yeah.
I was just thinking of her. The two people that I wanted to be when I was a kid were Nancy McKeon and Christy McNichol.
Those are the two girls I wanted as
But I
girlfriends.
remembered her
until-
from Quarterback Princess,
really
the after
I
school
remember
special.
her from what was she in? She was in some like little foxes or the summer camp. It was Christy McNichol and Tatum O'Neal. Hello.
Wow.
Hello there.
Yeah, but again, these were I was their same age until I saw one Linda Ronstadt.
See,
And
now
that was
Linda
all-
Ronstadt, that she never did anything for me either.
Oh,
And I don't know why, but conversely, Olivia Newton-John,
Ooh,
you know, I take the blonde. Just absolutely beautiful, and that voice. But you know, you talk about these childhood people. You know, Nancy McKeon, and you know the chicks on Three's Company. You talk about that. You know the one I wanted to fuck, Grant Goodeve. Now that was something right there. You know, I will show him when 8 is enough. Okay, all right. Jesus Christ.
you really didn't find Linda Ronstadt smoking hot?
No, I didn't. You know, I
Oh.
couldn't get behind any of her music either. This long time.
Oh,
No, get
goddamn,
away.
Linda Ronstadt and the Stone Ponies. I saw that movie FM,
Yeah.
Yeah.
1970, whatever. But even before then, she was, oh, god damn. And I liked 1974.
Yeah.
Definitely Olivia Newton-John. I honestly love you. And how high's the water, mama? Was 4 feet high and rising. I loved all that shit. I was an Olivia Newton-John fan too.
You know, you stay with music. Karen Carpenter did it for me.
Oh no, not me.
Oh, I loved Karen. Oh my God.
I loved Karen. They were pals. I loved me some Karen.
I did. She was a
Yes.
beautiful girl
Use
in
your
that voice too.
heart, Bob. Was it a do-ron-ron?
There was, first of all, Corey Haim was the first time I remember
Really?
seeing a.
Christ.
Yeah, it was in some show
Talk
where
about your bad fucking loser guys.
Right.
You
He
had a
was
bad
like-
history before
he
you could
was-
get a guy.
I was probably 10. I had to have been like 10 or 11, and he was probably around the same age. And I don't remember what the show was that I saw him in, but I just thought I had never seen a boy so cute in my entire life. And then later, when I was in school, I remember I had pictures of Jason Bateman, Michael J. Fox, Ralph Macchio,
Yeah. What about Leif Garrett?
Kirk Cameron. I was never a Leif Garrett, but Leif was a little bit ahead of. He's
He's a
before
little
me.
before you.
Yeah.
He's a little before you.
Well, I was picturing her more a Ron Palillo. No? You don't think? I think that'd be great.
Is that really
Jess
what you
and
were
the
picturing?
horse shacks.
That's really what you were picturing, really?
Well, I mean, in my head, I thought Jess and Arnold Horshack, was sitting there, and Jess could be like, "Oh gosh, he's so dreamy, Arnold. You're so dreamy."
But you know what's funny? I loved Ralph Macchio, and when I'm watching the new, like the Karate Kid now, or what's it called now?
The Dojo, whatever. I don't know what it's called.
What's it called? Well, you know what I'm talking about. The current, the current Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it now, and I'm like, Daniel LaRusso is a bitch. He's a lot less good looking, and it's not because he's old. It's because the character he's playing is a bitch.
Yeah,
like,
that's
really,
why all those boys wanted to kick his ass.
You were a grown ass man, and you're still holding grudges from when you were in high school. Come on.
Yeah, but let's remember, he did have one of the all-time hotties in Elizabeth Shue.
He did, and
Elizabeth Shue was a very attractive young woman.
She made an appearance in this new version.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find Elizabeth Shue, she was quite attractive. She was another one
beautiful.
Of those sort of heartthrobby persons for me when I was younger.
She's still beautiful. I feel like she's one of those that if you had a crush on her back then, you probably still would when you saw her today.
My crush now is Jennifer Garner. Jennifer Garner has been my crush for a long time. I think she is a beautiful woman, and an attractive mind woman too. Not just physically attractive. She's just, to me, if I could be magically transported and have the absolute perfect genie wish, it's like, I wish to be the boyfriend of Jennifer Garner just for a day.
Look, I love the girl I'm with. I wouldn't trade her for anything.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't think I've ever said that about anybody before, because she actually, look, she's A, she's easy on the eyes, but B, the girl takes care of me. She'll do anything for me. And that's what I've needed all my life through bitch ex-wife 1 and decent ex-wife number 2. But if I had a celebrity crush today, I'm saying, yes, basically that is, you know what? Look, remember when I shit her bed? She had no problem with it. Cleaned it up. It's fine. But you know who would not clean up my bed when I shit it? Even though I would still, but I still want to see this person naked. Rachel McAdams.
Literally 99.99% of the population would not clean up your bed after you shit it.
You know what? If I had a studio audience in front of me, I might ask them. That's right. If I gave that RA my EBT PIN number, they would probably clean up my shitty bed.
They sure as shit would. No pun intended.
But Rachel McAdams, I'd watch her read the phone book. I love Rachel McAdams.
I'm trying to think. I don't have anybody now I can think of that I really that I would say like, oh man, other than Jennifer Garner. But it's old. It's like 10 years. It's when she was in that spy TV show. It goes back that far. I really don't have that kind of crush anymore, but I've aged out of it. Don't worry, Chris. You're going to age out of it soon enough.
Oh, I've already aged out of shit. Obviously I'm with somebody, but this girl, I was like making dad jokes. Okay. And this girl left the bowling alley. She's laughing. Ha, ha, ha. Not trying to pick her up, but somebody who doesn't know any better looks at me and says, my God, your game is so old. It was bought at Caldor. Like,
how about Montgomery Ward?
Yeah, really. Dude, and so I'm in Frederick, Jess. I'm in Frederick yesterday, and I'm going by the mall, by the only mall that's still open. Because when you were there were still 2 malls.
No, the one over by the station was about done when I left.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's fully fucking done, and they're putting in a bowling alley there now.
Oh.
But over at Francis Scott Key, I go in, and I'm like, why are there all these cars around Sears? Why are they in that part? The fucking Sears is still open.
Oh, wow.
The Sears is still open.
We don't have a Sears here.
I bought a stove there yesterday for my house because everything's on such deep discount in there, but I couldn't believe it was open. And there's a shitload of people Christmas shopping in a Sears in 2022.
Wow.
You know what, though? I wish we fucking still had a Sears, because Sears was a good store. and a better experience than fucking Walmart. I'm sorry, it just
Oh,
is.
absolutely.
There was still a Kmart here when I first, until a few years ago, there was still a Kmart here, not far from my house when I first got here to Nashville. And there was never any lines. Like I could go in and find what I wanted, and it was perfectly nice. And there was never any lines, which I understand is the problem. And it's part of why they're no longer around. But it was such a better shopping experience at Kmart.
Yeah, all of these, the fucking horrible thing about these places, Sears, Montgomery Ward, JCPenney, Ames, Kmart, are closing, is you're fucking left with one joint. Fucking Walmart, and then Target. Target, Target is sort of, they're sort of like the guy or the girl who's playing above their punching weight. You know, it seems like a fucking Walmart, just with a different fucking facade outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Walmart that's red.
Right. It's the same shit. It's all, even the store brand that says whatever they call it in there, Good Foods or Good Eats or whatever their food brands are. It's all made in the same fucking dump in Arkansas or in the middle of fucking, Kansas, and they put a different label on it.
Just like every generic at every grocery store.
Yeah.
Right. Well, exactly. Yeah, I asked Jenna, I said, hey, you want to go to Target? And she says, honey, I'm a Walmart. I'm like, the fuck's the difference? 4 cents? I'm not sure what the difference is. But yet her mom shops at Wegmans every day. So, I mean, in Wegmans, that's
Wegmans.
that's
like
New Yorkese for expensive, isn't it?
It is, but man,
expensive.
I miss Wegmans so much.
I like the Wegmans.
I go into Wegmans, into the cafe area, and get, I don't know whether you've ever seen these guys, but they have these frosted sugar cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Which, my God, I don't care if they're $3.99 and 600 calories. I don't care. Right. Okay, yeah. I'm going to get a couple every time I walk inside of Wegmans. Mm-hmm. And
Wegmans,
the Caesar salad in their cafe, oh my God.
Yeah, Wegmans is sort of, as I remember Wegmans is sort of like Whole Foods, except not all snooty, we're all this, all that, and we're going to charge you $82 for a pound of hamburg because it was massaged before we put it in the fucking grinder. Right?
Wow.
That
sounded like that time I had that prostitute in Vegas, Wally. Jesus.
The grinder? I remember her.
I remember that old bitch. She massaged it before she put it in the grinder.
Out there? God,
she is. She has a couple less teeth, but she's fine.
That tired old broad.
Yeah.
It's a good store that doesn't charge you an arm and a leg. It's still more expensive than the local Food Lion, but it's a better quality.
Ugh, I miss it
the most
so
expensive thing here. Harris Teeter is the most expensive thing in this area, but I love the store.
I loved the Harris Teeter when I lived in Virginia. Man, they made a po' boy sandwich at their deli that was so fucking good. Oh, it was so good. And the other thing, I think it was at Harris Teeter, you used to have when you took a cart, you had to put a quarter to get the cart. So
shit, not down here. Wow,
well,
really?
One of the stores, it was either Harris Teeter or Wegmans around here that I used to go to.
Aldi does that.
You had to have a quarter. Who does it?
Aldi. Yeah, Aldi does it. When I want to go into an Aldi and get a quarter, I just put a key in there and pop it out.
Well, you never had to worry about having coming out and having your brand new car or any car, even your junk piece of shit car, with a cart rolled into the side of it and put a big dent in the side or break a tail light, because people want them fucking quarters. And if the adult didn't want it, the kid wanted it. Yeah. Because a quarter still meant something. I'm not sure the quarter means as much anymore.
There was a time when I was so poor because, I was working in radio. And I was so poor that I would go to the airport and I would grab the luggage carts that people would just leave and put them back in and round up the quarters.
Oh,
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I think it's admirable. I think it's admirable to do anything that is productive, that helps you sustain life.
You know what?
Just sustain your life.
Speaking of parking lots, this is kind of a different subject, but I was at Kroger today, and I came out and I was putting my groceries in the car, And the car parked next to me. The guy was there. He had his hood up, and he was probably, I'm guessing, in his 20s, and he had a bunch of kids there with him. And it became clear that the battery was probably dead.
Yeah.
And I noticed several men, like not together, like one at a time, who would walk by and sort of look at what was going on and then walk across to the other side of the aisle and keep going.
Yeah, they have no idea what to do.
And I was assuming it was because this guy was black that they were walking away.
Right.
Which kind of pissed me off. I mean, it pissed me off that they were walking away anyway, because it doesn't take that much. You know, if he had a dead battery, all you have to do is say, do you need a jump? Which I did. I looked over and I said, do you have jumper cables? And he said, no, I have this jumper box and it's dead. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have jumper cables either. And I finished loading my stuff in and I got in the car and I had just gotten a text from my realtor. And so I was looking at that and I heard him say, ma'am. And I looked over and I rolled down my window and he said, if I go in the store and get jumper cables, will you give me a jump start? I said, absolutely. I'll hang out and wait for you. Got it done. It started his car. He drove off and got his battery. But like, why can't people just help?
Well,
Why can't people just help?
I'm going to lend something only to, well, I think lots of times because people are just assholes.
For sure.
But a lot of guys, so this Jess, I think plays into the guys are not guys anymore.
No, I wouldn't even know how to let somebody jumpstart from my car. I wouldn't even know how.
Really? You know what? That's
Yeah.
funny that you say that, because I had to. He put the things on wrong, and
Oof.
he put the negative one on my car first, and my car was running, and then he put the positive one on, and then there's sparks, and he's standing there, and I'm like, no, just take that off, take it off, and I told him which order to put the stuff in.
It's a skill set.
But also, everybody has a cell phone. You can look that up really fast.
Yeah, but
Well, you could, absolutely.
It's a skill set.
Like,
I think it's a skill set.
I've been that
Back in the
person
day.
stranded and
Me
people
too.
just walking by, not helping. Like, it's
Yeah.
not that hard to just help somebody.
Me too. And I think half of those people had no idea what to do.
Maybe that's true. Maybe that's
I've
true.
started my fucking car with a screwdriver, touching you touch the solenoid to the positive cable to jumpstart off its own self.
I would never
Yes.
have known that.
What are you giving criminal tips? How to
No, but
bypass
that's
a
how
fucking
broke
starter?
I've been. I've been that broke where you had to do shit like that.
Hmm.
Wow.
That you had to learn how to do this, not because you couldn't afford to fix the fucking car is why. So you knew this was, I have to touch this to this and the solenoid over that screw to that screw. It's just the way it is. But I think a lot of guys have no idea how to fucking jumpstart a car.
I look forward to our next podcast, Picking Locks with Wally.
Well, look at the guy you jumped had no idea how to jumpstart his own fucking car.
No.
You know, so he was helpless. He was helpless to help himself.
Look, I don't know how to jumpstart a car. I don't know how to
I'll teach
change
you.
my oil. My father,
I'll teach
you know,
you.
what do you mean you spend $49.99 to get your oil changed? I said, well, Dad, now it's synthetic. It's $99.99.
Sure is.
So,
Yeah, but you know what? It's cheaper to go have your oil changed than it is to change it yourself now, because you can't just drain the fucking oil into the street.
right. Well, no, that fucker will be sitting outside with a pan under the goddamn Crown Victoria,
Yeah.
you know, pulling the oil.
No.
81 years old doing this bullshit.
And my guess is your dad probably isn't putting it in a safe can and bringing it to the place where you're supposed to bring used oil to be given to be recycled, because you have to pay $10 to have that done.
No. He goes in the backyard and he puts it in the trapdoor for the shitter.
Of course he does.
I was gonna say, don't tell anybody. I just put a empty paint can in the trash.
Yeah, see, you're not supposed to do that.
Nope, they're not.
So the
If they
EPA will not be advertising.
No, they sure won't.
No, but they may be knocking on your door.
They can knock on my door if they want to buy the house. That's fine.
Oh yeah, so
Have you sold the fucking thing or not?
No, but my realtor put the listing up on Saturday with the plan to go live on Monday. And we already got the first showing request for tomorrow.
Good.
So
that's
good.
awesome.
I hope yours sells quicker than mine, especially with those fuckers about to raise the interest rates again. So I hope yours
really?
sells quick.
Me
yeah,
too.
Oh yeah, that's coming this week.
This week?
What's the interest rate right now?
Shit. Well, yeah.
Another 0.5% this week.
I hope it
How much
sells.
is it?
0.5% supposedly.
That's what it just came down.
What is the
it's gonna go
overall?
up.
What is the overall pay on? What's the mortgage now rate at? 6?
Couldn't tell you. Probably 5.5 or 6.
It's 6 1/4, I think.
Yeah, well, you're going to be hitting close to 7 coming this week.
That's what it was when I started this whole process.
I think we're at 2.25% on our mortgage rate.
I am at 0. Thank God.
I think this one is. I think I was at 4%. I didn't refinance when I should have, but
Right.
that's what.
Well, I had an adjustable on the house when I got it in 2005, and I'm like, well, rates were still low then.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, okay, so 2.5%. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I saw rates going up, and at the end of 5 years, it was either a balloon payment or, redo your mortgage. So I redid the mortgage, and I locked in at 5.165, and I never touched it for the past, how many years is that? I guess it was another 12 years. Never touched it, and I guess I could have gotten it down to 3, but I was just too lazy. And it wasn't my primary residence, and they weren't doing me any favors. So, but now it's gone, thank God.
At some point, refinancing costs you more than you won't recover that half point.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
You won't recover it because there's too much in the you'll end up paying whatever the fee is to do the documentation and all this bullshit. It's like buying a fucking car. How dare them charge you a fucking doc fee when you buy a car?
Well, you can tell them that you're not going to pay that. They're going to add as much shit on there as they think that you're not going to understand. And if you go through and you go, the delivery fee is your charge for delivering the car from the back of the lot to the front door, so you can remove that. You can there are so many charges on there.
Yeah, you have to be that way. They want you to pay the delivery fee that they had to pay to get it from fucking, the port on a truck to there. No, I'm not paying your fucking price.
I don't play that game. Mm-mm. The game that I play, I have a friend that was he sold cars, and he wound up making his way into management. He's like, this is what you do. So price on the car, whatever. I go in with the price that I'm comfortable paying. Okay. For the car, and know what it's going to be with 0% interest. And I want the taxes, all the bullshit, license plate, all rolled into it. I want an extended warranty to 150,000 miles. I want the oil changes and all that stuff every 10,000 miles, want it all rolled in. And I go in and say, all right, here's your sticker. This is what I want. These are the things. I'll pay you $28,000. Well, I got to take it to my manager. Go ahead and take it to your manager. Well, we can't do that. And I get up and said, okay, thank you. And start walking out the door. Oh, no, Mr. Roth. So, they all want to play this fucking game.
Yeah.
I tell them what I want to pay. And then say, well, I don't know whether we can get you the interest rate you want. I call them and ask them for the favor.
Right.
Call
and tell me what
credit
the
and
interest rate is before the finance manager jacks it up.
Right.
Yeah, there are certain things, like never tell them what you owe on your car. Don't give them any information on your car.
Nope.
Because they go, okay, so he owes $14,000. We'll give you $13,800 for that. Oh, but I owe $4,000. Can you give me $14,500? Oh, how about $14,200? Exactly what you fucking owe.
Right, exactly. Or, in my case, I used to roll one car into the other because I didn't know any better. I had no idea. One car that I had and that I got in 2001, I think I rolled 2 other cars into. Okay, and I would wind up paying $700 a month for an Isuzu Axiom, whatever the fuck that is. Okay, it was something, but now that I know the game, I walk in, tell them what I want, and if they don't want to do it, I get up and start leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's 30 other out there you can go to.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Somebody's eventually going to give you the deal because they're trying to move product too. Might be a little harder today than it was 3 years ago, but it'll get back to where you're talking about, Chris, in a year or so. When
there was a dealership advertising on TV the other day saying, "Hey, new cars are back in stock. We've got a ton of them, and we want to give them to you." And you see a picture of their lot that's just full. So it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. So you get that bargaining tool back again. Yeah, for too long. See, car dealerships suffer from screwing the public for so many years that now it's harder for them to make money now for sure, because the markup on vehicles isn't what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
They used to really fucking mark that shit up, but now wages have gone up and all this shit has gone up. So,
Well, they can't mark up new vehicles like they could, but they still mark up used vehicles for sure. That's where they make their money.
Do. Oh, for sure. Well, now the way they rope you in is, okay, we can give you all that deal you want, but when you go in to get it fucking service, like when I bring my car in to get it serviced, it's $115 an hour for service. Like,
Absolutely.
fuck. And every time you go in, it's $4,000, $3,000, $2,000. I bought the car twice just in service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking ridiculous.
And, look, I'll keep paying on this car. I had this habit of getting rid of cars every couple of years. This is a 2018 Ford Escape. Okay. And it's got 155,000 miles on it because I drive fucking everywhere. Okay. And I bought it in early 19, despite it being an 18. Okay. So do the math there. 19, 20, 21, 22, 4 years, 155,000 miles on it. There is no reason that this car is not going to get me to 250, 300. No reason whatsoever, despite a fucking tire that the light just came on for again. But the car will run. It's going to keep going. I don't need to trade it in. And after I got rid of the house, so tell me this, fucking Dave Ramsey, listen to this. Take the house, and instead of putting all the money in the bank or in a slot machine, I paid off all of my credit cards and I paid off the car. I might not own any property, but I've got zero fucking debt.
That feels good.
And I if I want to own property again sometime, sure. And it's not going to take long to amass the down payment I need because the money's going nowhere anymore. Right. I was propping up all the credit cards with everything that I made. Look, I didn't make a little bit of money either being production director of this station. I didn't. I'm doing great, but I was paying all these credit cards and not knowing what the fuck to do. And now I don't have to do that. I
think that's what makes me a little bit even more excited about buying a new house, other than just the excitement of, getting a new house, is that the profit that I'm going to make from this house after I put the down payment down and the closing costs and all of the things, I'm going to have enough left to pay off the maybe 10 grand in debt that I've got outside of the house. And actually, it's probably a lot less than that now because I'm paying off the fence that I had to put up earlier this year and some other stuff. But anyway, I'm going to be able to pay all of that off and still have enough money in the bank that when my mortgage is double, if something happens with my job or whatever, I've still got this great cushion if I need it.
You're not in panic mode in the first 2 months.
It's a whole different world to be in.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different mindset that you can have about anything. You want to guess how much credit card debt I was in?
No, I do not.
Wally, would you like to pick a number? It's between 1 and 100,000. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with 85.
God, are you my father? How did you know? That was pretty good.
Wow, really?
That was pretty good.
Right now, I am around 75 or so, 80.
Yeah.
And mine is from fucking making a lot of money, having years where I made a ton of money. I was pulling down probably $225, $250 a year.
Wow.
High rent, high mortgage and stuff. But then when that fucking job went away, all that debt was still what I was able to pay easily before. Not so easy anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And then 2 kids living at home, 2 adult grown kids living at home. All of a sudden you start going, so that's where I am right now in that, a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, I get it. And I swear I will keep one credit card just in case I need it to rent a fucking car.
You know what? I have one that I use because it gives me Southwest points. And so I put everything on it, but I pay it off at the end of, every month. And then I have one that has the fence on it. And then another one that gives me 0% on balance transfers. So if I have something expensive, I have to buy. So the fence, the one I'm paying off the fence, I'm still at 0% on that until it's paid off. And then I have another one that I've done balance transfers on. to get 0% so that I have time to pay it off without it costing me extra. And then the one that I put all of my expenses on every month and pay off just to get the Southwest points.
Yeah, so
That's where I'm at.
You're doing it the right way.
I'm trying to.
That's what we're now. I've got to fucking learn to get back in that place. But I'm never going to make the kind of money I made for those few years where I was making that kind of cash. And we owned property, we had rentals, and we got rid of all that stuff. And then we had to put. Then you end up doing when money's flowing, right? Oh, new windows, 30 grand.
Get them.
Let's put them in. New roof, 25 grand. Let's put it on. So now we've got those bills sitting there too, and then the job evaporates. You're like, oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And so now all this shit is owed.
Yeah.
And
I remember, you have that with, the job going away. I had the same thing. I mean, I was making beaucoup bucks as program director of the oldie station in DC in 2009 or 19. And I saw this clock on eBay that I wanted because it was this, if you've ever seen the big advertising clocks that are like 36 inches around, and they have a radio station's call letters on the top, and on the bottom they've got, some local closed business that was open 50 years ago. And I'm like, that's the first station I ever worked at. I have to have that. And I paid $2,000 for that thing. I'm like, I can do it.
Yeah.
I got the money. Fired the next fucking day.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there.
I was afraid to buy this house because I'm constantly afraid that I'm going to get myself into this situation and not be able to maintain it because I'm going to get fired the next day. And right after I put this house under contract, our company got bought.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. It worked out, but still.
When a few years back, more than a few years back, when Pedro Martinez, I went to see the Red Sox Yankees in the playoffs at Fenway Park, the year that Pedro threw Don Zimmer to the ground. That iconic game. And I bought tickets, me and my friend, and tickets were, I think, we went for 3 days, and I paid for a hotel. I think tickets were $2,000 a piece.
Jesus.
400 club.
Right.
But it wasn't crazy. I had money. Lots of money to be able to spend on shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
The stupid thing was, you never think you're not going to not have that money.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You never think it's going to dry up.
And so it's, no matter how fucking smart you are, and I'm not a dumb guy, and none of us are dumb, we don't have enough smarts to fucking figure out until we've already made the mistake. Oh, fuck. I should have just paid off the house.
Yeah.
Instead of
exactly
paying that monthly mortgage and living fat, should have just paid off the house. But it's not the direction I took. I did. And it hurts now. And, this is part of someone along the line should have taught, or I should have learned, or it should have somewhere. I had to learn it on my own I had to educate myself on that. It sucks learning that lesson.
It sure does.
It does. It does. But we've all had to learn it. Everybody
does it. And I had the same thing when I went to fucking, the way Jess and I ended up together, when I went to take my job, the job in Utica, that brought my salary from $15,500 to $30,000. The weekend my wife moved up, I'd been there 6 weeks, rented a house, double what we were paying, yada, yada, yada. My wife moves up 6 weeks behind me or something like that because my kids are still in school. She moves up Saturday, Sunday. We do it together. I go on Monday, no job. So there we are. We spent every fucking cent we had to move on the moving truck, on this rent first month, last month. But it's okay because I've just doubled my salary. No, done.
Oh my God.
These things and 2 kids. Hello, with 2 kids. But these things trip you up.
Listen, when I was with Shithead, not only did he drag my already not super great credit score way down into the 300 or 400s.
I didn't know they gave monkeys credit scores. That's interesting. You've taught me something new.
Turns out they do. not only did he drag my credit score down into the 300 or 400s, when he left, he cleaned out my checking and the
Mother of God.
couple $100 I had in savings. Like, I literally had nothing. I didn't have anything, and he took it anyway. And at that point, I was driving a Trailblazer, and it was a good 10, 12 years old. And
I remember that car.
Yeah, I loved that truck so much. But it was making this noise, and I couldn't afford to do anything. Like, I went into work one day. I was working at this trade publication at the time called Country Air Check, and I went into work, and my boss asked me, I don't even know if he asked me anything. I think he just stepped in my office and went, "Hey," and I went, and I told him what was going on, and he went to the owner. And the owner called a mechanic and had me take my truck over there and paid for me to get my truck fixed because I was so desperate because I couldn't afford to put gas in my truck to get to work because this motherfucker took all what little money I had.
Oh my God.
So I managed to go from that to now my credit score is upper sevens, and I have bought one house and I'm about to buy, my second house, and thank God he left. Thank God.
To be fair, I walked in an afternoon drive one time and said, "Hey, Jess, how you doing?" "Okay. Do you want to go home, hon?" "Yes."
Yeah.
Okay. That was it.
That's how you know something was wrong, because I never showed that kind of emotion there.
No, you never did. And I remember the first break I got on, like 99.9 WFRA, because you'd already started the show.
Yeah.
99.9 WFRA, and Jess, well, she hadn't here. Kept going.
I think, in generally speaking, listening to both of you talk about, I think automobile, transportation has been the most stress on my young career, and even in my older career. Transportation, it's the most expensive part of necessity, because sometimes you can get by on, I missed the rent, can I pay half this month, the other half next month? But if the fucking car is not running, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're not getting anywhere.
You're not getting anywhere, because I don't live, Jess, you may live closer now than that, but you've never before lived in a place where there was a bus to take you anywhere.
I did in the town I grew up in, but here it would be a pretty good hike to get to.
There's no bus line in Corning, Elmira. What are you talking about?
It wasn't that far.
There was a great bus transportation system in Ithaca.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ithaca, good transportation.
Yep.
Good. But then you went up the road to Cortland, there was nothing.
No.
But yeah, I always lived, 30, well, except we're in New York, maybe I was still about 35 minutes driving, speeding. I was still over 30 minutes from work. Mm-hmm. I couldn't have fucking got there any other way than without having reliable transportation.
Yep.
Absolutely. I could have taken the metro when I was working down in DC, but who the hell wants to go and add an extra hour and a half to your commute?
Right. And
it's just
somebody's
ridiculous.
pissed.
Right. Well, the subway system in DC, very clean, very clean. They actually, it's flavored piss, I think, that they're using these days. It's very, very bougie, actually. I've always sort of been, I am not a hardened public transportation guy, particularly when it comes to the train, the T or the T or New York, and it scares the shit out of me. I think I'm going to get mugged for sure. I understand that. Listen, I couldn't take the New York City subway, for a long time, but I went up there and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to get on this thing. And you know what? I was scared shitless, but I did it. Yeah. And, now I'm over it.
I think there's only so much swagger can get you through those. If you have the right swagger, there's only so much of that right swagger that will get you by.
Exactly.
You're going to drop your fucking guard down. And I'm sorry, but motherfucking give me your shit. Just give it to me now, as I won't stab you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys, I feel like we need to wrap up.
Yeah, probably.
So
we do, but I want to, before we wrap up, I want to give you something to chew on
okay,
for Wednesday.
as do I.
Okay. Yours may be better than mine, but I'm going to leave you with this.
Okay.
I'm thinking about leaving radio.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I've got another opportunity that's been thrown at me, and I'm seriously considering it.
Okay, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of one story about a couple of instances where investigators called looking for the car my ex-husband was driving.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So lots to talk about next time we all gather.
And
I
just
have
to
nothing
touch on
dramatic.
that, just to touch on Poophead. So I asked my girl who lives up here, I'm like, do you know blah, blah, blah? She's like, oh, yeah, he went to blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, my God, you do know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, small town USA.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so interested that we've got detectives and possible career changes and ooh,
It's going to be a big show.
Gonna be a big one. Rest up.
man. So wait, first, Chris, are you making some decisions while we're away?
Maybe. I don't know, but
Ooh.
maybe.
And Chris, and Jess, do you have some actual meat on the bone of the detectives?
Do you want me to tell you that now, or do you want to wait until?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. This is called a tease. We got to get the quarter hours for God's sake.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. We got to sweep that quarter hour and we got to get 4 quarter hours out of the 15 minutes that it really is. We've got to vamp them both. So don't go more than 3 minutes with the news, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure you hit the top of the hour.
That's it. Bye.